Hello and God bless. Today I want to talk about false teaching and um, us living in the last days where we have the itchy ears. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I was looking at a pastor on YouTube and I was looking at some other things and I came across this pastor. And I'm not going to say his name, but he said something about his wife exposed him, and he's a well-known pastor. And I left a comment without even looking at the video because I had saw some of it before, but I came across it again, and it was like, people were saying, how fake the pastors is and stuff like that. But what I wrote was that pastor is living the same life in that pulpit, though. He's not living a double life. The way y'all say he living outside of the pulpit is different than what he's doing inside the pulpit. Not to me. I see the same pastor. I see an unholy person not living for the Lord, preaching greed and vanity, lying, manipulating, and twisting the word of God, got the congregation emotionally jacked up, and he has a high influence because he compromises the word of God. And y'all say he's somewhere else in the world outside the pulpit. No, he's doing the same thing, doing the same stuff in the pulpit as he's doing outside the pulpit. He's not living a different life. It's that you are being deceived because you think the way he living in the pulpit is the real thing. And so he's acting the same way in the public. It's just you're looking at him as a pastor, and he's doing the same dirt in the pulpit. He's not doing anything different. It's just you are looking at him different. But he's still that same person in the pulpit. I see no distinction between the difference. Maybe because I'm looking at him in the spirit and not in the flesh, because you can't look at nothing about God in the flesh. It's where the devil works. If you look at the people in the flesh, you will not see the spirit within them. God said you have the form of godliness, but you deny the power thereof. And that's that you deny Jesus Christ. You deny the true gospel. You deny, depart from me, workers of iniquity. I never knew you. That ain't talking about sinners. That's talking about people who claim to be Christians. I had to come on here and get that mess straight because y'all sitting there looking for something different when it's right there before your eyes. They're exposed because their life is no different in the pulpit than it is outside the pulpit. The bishop didn't start acting a fool with P. Did he? He was acting a fool in the pulpit with Nita, then start getting on 333 outside of the pulpit. She was acting a fool inside of the church. Do you understand? When you look at people in the spirit, you're going to see the same thing outside of the church, which is you. You are the church. When you are outside of the will of God, it's going to show in the church and outside the church. They're not going to be different people. It's just you are looking at the name and the title, and you're not looking at them in the spirit. You have to be careful, even with my own pastor. As much as I love my own pastor, I don't agree with everything he says. He's not perfect, he is a human being. Now, he speaks on grace, but he used to talk on prosperity. But he speaks on grace, but he doesn't speak it in a way where it gives a person a reason to sit back and pause. Sometimes it needs to be called out. what it is. I love what I heard Pastor Mitchell say. Sometimes you got to call it what it is and stop trying to justify it. Because when you trying to justify, you'll find a reason to stay in that sin. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to justify. When I was a backslider, I knew I was on my way to hell because I was outside the will of God. And as much as I wanted to serve the Lord, I said, I can't do it. Religion told me I didn't qualify because I didn't fast this long. I didn't read the word as long. I didn't get up at 3 a.m. I didn't go beyond my tithes high enough. I didn't qualify. And I didn't love God. That's what I heard from my same pastor that was teaching other pastors, telling you if you don't do this, you don't love God. So here I am, a backslider, knowing that there was no hope for me because I done backslid. And who else can I turn to if I don't have God anymore? Do you know the struggle of a backslider? They're not served the regular sinner's platter anymore. They're served something worse and more deeper, and you get more stupider. Because he said in Peter, it is better for you had not known the Lord than to have known him and to leave. It is even worse on you being. He wasn't just making a fairy tale story, people. It was the truth. And I'm telling you, you will do things that you wouldn't have normally did. Some of you are backsliders sitting right up in the front row of the church. Some of you are backsliders in the pulpit. Some of you are backsliders in the choir, and you still trying to say you're okay with the Lord. You have no conviction because the voice of God has become null and void in your life. You know why? Because they got people telling you long suffering and mercy and grace is there, and he who began a good work in you is able to fulfill it. Yeah. And so you lean back on that and you ride in your sin and you drive like this, like, oh, well, you go, God, and I got this. I'll be back. But right now, I'm going to lean a little bit over here and I'm going to do this right here because I'm well known. I got great followers. Just for a moment, Jesus, then you find yourself dangling over hell and you asking yourself, how did I get there? You know how you got there. Your congregation uplifted your behind when you was out there in the public. Your neighbor said it'll be all right. Your pastor standing there justifying instead of preaching a conviction word to you. That's how you end up in social media gossip. You was already acting a fool in the pulpit, but they failed to see it. God bless you.